Hi guys, I hope you're all feeling safe and well, and you're not getting too bored sitting at home or being restricted. I hope you're maybe, if you've got a garden, you can get out into it and enjoy the sunshine. So welcome, this is week 2, and I'm going to show you some more of the amazing animals that we keep here, and I hope you enjoy seeing them. As you can see, it's a lovely day out in my garden, so I'm going to just have a little pan around there so to see roughly where we're starting at. Okay. Right, so what we've got here, this is one of my leaf insects. This species is actually the largest species of leaf insect in the world, and they actually get to about 4 or 5 centimetres long. And the whole thing with leaf insects, they're very similar to a stick insect, is that they try to look like their surroundings. So you can see the body on this one looks very, very similar to a leaf. It's even got the vein down the middle of the leaf there, and the little veins coming off, which actually make it look almost identical to a... I'm trying to get a bit close. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. You can see the veins there. All these eat are blackberry leaves, and that's all they'll eat for the whole of their lives. Really interesting fact about these is that there aren't any males. There's no boys. They're all females, and the female can lay eggs, and those eggs are able to hatch into baby leaf insects. These ones come from Malaysia. So they are a tropical species, and obviously they need to be kept very, very warm. But again, they use camouflage to blend in with their surroundings. They don't do a lot really. They tend to eat a little bit when it's a bit dark, and see there's a few poos on the floor there. So that's the Malaysian leaf insect. Okay, so this is one of my lizards. This is actually called an eyelash gecko, and they come from New Caledonia. And if you go very closely, you can actually see she's got like eyelashes above her eye there, and that's why they're called that name. Now, they mainly eat crickets and locusts and mealworms, but you can also buy a powder which you just mix up with some water, and that's like crushed up insects with fruit and everything. They need to be kept in like a tropical environment. So we've got this vivarium here. As you can see, I'll go pan back a little bit, it's all full of plants and natural things, so they can hide and they run around in there a while at a time. There's another one over the back here, panning on that one a bit. As you can see, there's quite a variation in colour there of them. These lay eggs, and what they'll do is she'll have eggs coming along in her body, then she'll find somewhere to deposit them. So I won't really know when they lay eggs in here, because obviously I won't be able to see them. So hopefully one day I'll come in and there'll be some little babies hopping around the tank. And we don't have to worry about mum and dad eating them, because they're absolutely fine with the babies. So that's the eyelash gecko. Comes from New Caledonia, which is near Indonesia. Pretty cool gecko. Okay, well, I've got a pretty big collection of tarantulas and different invertebrates. This is a really nice one. This is called a black and white tarantula, and they come from the Amazon. A very big spider, quite an aggressive spider. I wouldn't want to put my hand in there at all, because she would definitely try to sting me. So at the front there, if I pan in a little bit there, under here, she's got some fangs. And on this particular species, they're about 1 centimetre long. And she would be quite happy to inject the venom into you if you got that close to her. Now, if you were to get stung, it's not going to kill you, but it will hurt, because the poison on this spider is about as bad as a bee or wasp sting. So if you've ever been stung by a bee or wasp, that's roughly what it's like. If you times it by 2, because she's got 2 fangs, you would be hopping around in pain. The second way that you can actually protect herself is by these hairs on the back of her body here. And it's not the long hairs, but underneath those are some very, very tiny little hairs, almost like velvet. And there's about 20,000 on there. And what she can do is, using her two back legs, this one and this one over here, she can actually rub hairs off the back of her body. Now those hairs are like dust, and they're going to float in the air. And the problem with those is that if you breathe them, or they go up your nose or into your eyes, they can make you sting really, really badly for quite a long time. It's really irritable. And in some cases, they can actually make you go blind for quite a long time. The other reason we don't touch them is because, like any invertebrate, they don't have a backbone, so therefore their skeleton or their bone structure is on the outside of the body. It's called an exoskeleton. So having the bones on the outside, basically where your skin is, means you are particularly fragile. So if I was holding a spider, or the spider decided to climb out the tank, it'd be like me dropping a chicken's egg. And of course, it's just going to crack open and bleed all over the floor and then die. So pretty cool tarantula, and I will show you some different ones over the weeks as we go on. So we keep quite a few unusual birds here. This one's called a white-cheeked turrican, and she's not going to keep still for me. But they come from South Africa, and all they like to eat is fruit. So they'll eat chopped up apples, grapes, orange, these kind of things. And she's a very active bird. They don't really fly much. They don't like to run along branches. Really enjoying the lovely weather today. There she comes. We'll pan in a little bit. There we go. So these are some of our tortoises enjoying the sunshine. It's quite unusual to be able to get them out this early in the year. So every evening I'll be putting them back to bed, because obviously it gets very cold at night time. They're not going to appreciate this. But these are these two big ones here. These are red-footed tortoises, and they come from the Amazon rainforest. And unusually for a tortoise, they're actually an omnivore. Now, when we talk about an animal being an omnivore, it means that they eat both meat and fruit and vegetables. And the reason they do that is because in the rainforest and the Amazon, it's very, very dense. And of course, there isn't that much open pasture where they can get lots of greenery. So anything that falls on the rainforest floor, they will eat. So if they get hold of a dead mouse or a chick or an egg or slugs, snails, obviously fruit and vegetables, they will eat that. I'll show you some different tortoises over the week that we keep, and some turtles as well.